How are you? Hope very happy at home, studying properly. Most of you must have now been complete playing a lot because you have completed your school examinations. If they're going on, uh, do them well and stay happy and relaxed and keep studying. Be motivated. Now we have already started a chapter. We've completed our course for the 9th standard this year, and we have already started a chapter which is not going to be included in your school examinations this year, but it is important from the point of view of uh, NTSC Olympiads, which you're going to target next year. So I continue with that lecture, and today I would be telling you a little more. We had already completed, excuse me. Okay, we had already completed, I think I told you about the kingdoms and how the grouping is done, why it is done. Why it is done? Because there are a number of species, and to make study easier, to make research move ahead, to have modern technologies emerging, we need to know better about the living organisms. And due to a huge diversity, a huge variety of organisms, we have taken up system of classification in which Carolus Linnaeus played a pivotal role. Now, I told you how it is classified. What was the taxonomical hierarchy? It means first of all, we need to, for example, if we have a huge bowl filled with beads and stones, then we need to separate them. If we want to make a bead necklace out of it, or we want to make some jewelry out of it, or we want to make anything out of it, we need to separate them, right? And so what? Initially we would separate the stones and beads. That would be easy. But there are so many kinds of beads as well. There are so many kinds of stones as well. So then we have to go on seeing the number of similarities and reducing the dissimilarities. So we get to a group. For example, in the end, we get beads which are round, red, made up of glass, shiny, and having the same quality. So that group is the smallest unit of taxonomical hierarchy, and the largest unit was all the beads. In a similar way, kingdom is the largest unit of the taxonomical hierarchy, and we say it is a largest taxon. यूनिट की जगह हम वर्ड टैक्सॉन TAXON भी यूज कर देते हैं, एंड विच इज द स्मॉलेस्ट रैंक और टैक्सॉन. रैंक भी हम कह सकते हैं. हाईएस्ट रैंक इज किंगडम, lowest rank is species. Highest taxon is kingdom, lowest is species. Why? Because kingdom includes organisms of various types which have maximum dissimilarities but some similarities. So we can put them in a group like the animal kingdom. Then coming down to species, for example, humans is a different species. Tigers and lions are a different species. So we come down to a group of organisms which are maximum similar, having a very few differences, and which can freely interbreed. That is the lowest tax on the species. So we have just grouped them accordingly. Okay? Kingdom is one. Then in a kingdom there may be many phylums. In one phylum there may be many classes. In one class there may be many orders. In one order there may be many genuses. And in one genus there may be many species. That is how we group organisms. Now let us move further. अब हम ये देखते हैं कि how the study started. I told you about the taxonomical hierarchy. लेकिन ये initial thought आया किसको? Initial thought came to, I told you, Carolus Linnaeus, to make study easier. कैरोलस, कई बार ये पीछे का हटा के कार्ल लिन ही लिख देते हैं. ठीक है? सो बोथ आर द सेम पर्सन. कैरोलस लिनियस ने क्या किया? What he did, he gave the two kingdom classification. In some way 1758 two kingdom classification, and he grouped all the species on the earth into two groups. That was plants and animals. Now there was a big confusion. 1758 में उन्होंने तो दे दिया, and that was a huge basis for classification कि okay, plants can photosynthesize, animals can move, so we have grouped them. But अब देखो, there were so many contradictions. There were hundreds of plants, there were hundreds of animals. That was okay. Yet there are certain organisms, for example, take Euglena. Euglena can photosynthesize as well, and it is a protozoan. It moves also. So it had both the qualities. So now there arose a confusion कि अब इसको किस में रखेंगे, प्लांट में रखेंगे, एनिमल में रखेंगे. So came the three kingdom classification, which was given by Ernest Haeckel. And he included the group Protista in this. So there came three kingdoms, and Euglena is a protist. Protista group is having unicellular organisms. We will discuss later. So okay, that thing was satisfied. Okay, Protista. Now Euglena can be put in this group. We have another kingdom. So third kingdom arose. Now this confusion arose कि ठीक है, यूग्लिना को तो यहाँ रख दिया, लेकिन अब आप बैक्टीरिया को कहाँ रखोगे? Because bacteria, certain bacteria are having prokaryotic structure. Certain bacteria do photosynthesis, certain do not do photosynthesis. Different shapes, different structures. Where will that be included? Because that cannot be included in plants. And animals वो हो नहीं सकता क्योंकि it is unicellular. It does not reproduce sexually. There were various differentiation. So then what happened? Came the four kingdom classification. Four kingdom classification was given by Copeland, a scientist called Copeland, and he included the group Monera into it. So Monera, so in Monera bacteria found a home. So they were staying in the Monera kingdom. So everybody was happy. Okay. Now arose a question. There are certain organisms which neither move, do not have locomotory organs sometimes, and they do not do photosynthesis, and they are fungus, but they are eukaryotic, and there are various differentiation arising. So then ultimately came the five kingdom classification, which was accepted widely for a long time, given by Robert Whittaker. Robert Whittaker gave the five kingdom classification, which was widely accepted, and in this group fungi was given a separate kingdom. Then maximum number of organisms were included in the kingdom. So everybody was satisfied. Okay, maximum number. Now you can if certain do photosynthesis, plants में आ जाएंगे. Certain do photosynthesis and are moving, protist में आ जाएंगे. Some are animals. Unicellular prokaryotic, Monera में आ जाएंगे. Which are heterotrophic, do not move, various different structures, fungus में आ जाएंगे. So maximum number of organisms were covered, and hence the five kingdom classification was widely accepted, and we would be moving according to this only. अपनी NCERT में इसी के basis पे दे रखा. ठीक है? So this was satisfying all. Now recently, before not very recently, some time past, again Monera has been divided into two groups by Carl Woese. He divided the Monera group into two groups, that is Eubacteria and Archaebacteria. Archaebacteria and Eubacteria, two groups, and this gives rise to the sixth kingdom classification. And what has he done? Monera group को दो groups में डाल दिया है. This was based on the cell wall composition. different in the cell wall composition. उन्होंने ये देखा the cell wall of these bacteria and these bacteria differently made. So eubacteria are surviving in peptidoglycan से उनकी cell wall बनी होती है and they survive in normal conditions like lactobacillus वगैरह normal bacteria in these conditions. लेकिन there are certain bacteria which have a complex cell wall which enables them to live in hot water springs, in extremely cold areas, in extreme conditions. तो वो जो है वो है आर्के बैक्टीरिया. हॉट वाटर स्प्रिंग्स या एक्सट्रीम जो कंडीशंस होते हैं ऑफ एनवायरनमेंट, वहां पे यू फाइंड बैक्टीरिया विच आर आर्के बैक्टीरिया. सो दैट इज द 6th kingdom classification, but we still are studying the 5 kingdom classification, but because maximum चीजें उनमें satisfy हो जाती है. ठीक है. Now I told you कार्ल रूज ने एक basis of separating the organisms लिया था. तो all these kingdoms which I have told you about, they were classified based on, first classification is based on one, complexity of structure, for example whether is न्यूक्लियस कैसा है, प्रोकैरियोटिक है या यूकैरियोटिक है. फिर लेवल ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन मीन्स वेदर इट इज यूनिसेल्यूलर और मल्टीसेल्यूलर या सेल्यूलर लेवल है, टिश्यू लेवल है. थर्ड, मोड ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन. इस पे डिपेंडेंट होके, बिकॉज कुछ तो बेसिस लेना पड़ता है व्हेन यू are classifying something, you have to take something as a basis and then classify into group. So it was taken, these 3 were taken as modes of classification, and then the organisms were grouped into the 5 kingdoms. Also ये तो base लिया गया था. The system for classification was, there are actually 3 systems were used. First, there was an artificial system in which many scientists took what? We are not giving much account to that because many scientists did what? They took very simple things like natural habitat as a basis and classified, but that was not very satisfactory. Then another classification system came, that was natural system. Now natural system took up points like natural affinity, some habits, etc., and classified organisms, but that was also not very satisfactory. The system which was most accepted was phylogenetic system of classification, which involves seeing the internal पूरा evolutionary history, DNA का pattern, evolutionary history and various small details को जब देख के classify किया जाता है, that gives a very substantial group of organisms जो actually we can believe कि yes, these are similar, they have evolved from where. For example, you just cannot put a butterfly, it also can fly, and a bird in one kingdom because they have so many differences. In one group you cannot put them, right? So butterflies have different internal structure but they can fly. तो artificial system में वो डाल देते हैं, natural में भी कुछ ऐसा. So both those systems were not accepted. The most accepted one is phylogenetic system. आप जब next year molecular evolution chapter पढ़ोगे 10th में, उसमें आता है molecular phylogeny. So what is phylogeny? A system of classification in which small details, bodily design, structures is taken into aspect, लेकिन साथ साथ उसकी पूरी evolutionary history, उसका DNA किससे match करता है, ये देख के organism को classify करते हैं. That was phylogenetic system and it was accepted, and we have seen how the classification was done into kingdoms. Okay, so this is about how classification was done. Now we have to study about the 5 kingdoms given by Robert Whittaker, and they are given as small paragraphs in your book. I would give it in a tabular form so that it becomes very easy for you to remember. So first kingdom was, as I told you, Monera. Second was Protista. third was fungi, fourth was plantae, and fifth was animalia, or you can say animals. Animalia भी बोलते हैं इसको, ठीक है? You can write it this way also. And what do we classify them according to? We write first level of organization. What do I mean by level of organization? This is level, whether they are unicellular or multicellular. So I am just क्लासिफाइड. ये तीनों पॉइंट्स जो है इनको देख के यू कैन राइट अ शॉर्ट नोट ऑन ऑल दीज किंगडम्स. अगर पूछा जाए तो यू कैन जस्ट राइट अ शॉर्ट नोट ऑन दीज. सो लेवल ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन फर्स्ट वी क्लासिफाई अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस. सेकेंड आई वुड से कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर, या मैं लिख सकती हूँ वेदर यूकैरियोटिक और प्रोकैरियोटिक. इसको मैं कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर भी बोल सकती हूँ. स्ट्रक्चर इंटरनल कैसा है. देन आई थर्ड से अबाउट मोड ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन. नाउ इन योर बुक it has been explained as a small paragraph. Here I just write one word. You remember about the whole kingdom, and I'll explain in a way which is easy hopefully, and last we can give examples. ठीक है? So this would give us a, if you want to write a 2-mark question on this, you can write easily. So first level of organization देखते हैं. This is unicellular. This is unicellular always इस kingdom में. Fungi can be unicellular or it can be multicellular. अभी मैं आपको इसके बारे में बताती हूँ. Plantae is always multicellular. अगर unicellular algae है तो वो protist में आ जाएगी. Animalia is always multicellular. So see, it's easy to remember. Uni or multicellular. Unicellular can be both. Middle one multiple. So always write it this way. It's very easy to. So always make tables इस chapter में as I make, because I always make it in a sequence so that you can understand very well. इधर animalia लिख दोगे, plantae लिख दोगे, तो it would confuse you. Prokaryotic, eukaryotic. Only Monera is prokaryotic. Rest all the kingdoms are eukaryotic. So it's easy. This is also eukaryotic. This is also eukaryotic. And this also eukaryotic. Now sometimes what I do, if I write you, then I do this way. That means इसके बाद सारे same है. If right now I would be writing the names, but sometimes if I miss out, okay? So please pay attention. Mode of nutrition in Monera can be autotrophic sometimes or heterotrophic. Maximum bacteria are saprophytes या decomposers, लेकिन कुछ autotrophic bacteria भी होते हैं. That you would learn in the 10th standard. Protista also can be autotrophic. That is Euglena उसका example है. Because Euglena is one protozoan जो अगर उसको लाइट अवेलेबल होती है तो वो ऑटोट्रोफिक हो जाता है. अगर उसको लाइट अवेलेबल नहीं होती तो वो सैप्रोट्रोफिक मोड अपनाता है, डेड और डिकेइंग से न्यूट्रिशन लेता है. सो इट हैज बोथ मोड्स ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन. समटाइम्स वी रेफर टू इट एज अ मिक्सोट्रोफिक न्यूट्रिशन. यूग्लिना में कौन सा? मिक्सोट्रोफिक. सो वी कैन से इसमें ऑटो भी हो सकता है या heterotrophic भी हो सकता है. मैक्सिमम heterotrophic. Fungi are always heterotrophic because they do not have chlorophyll. They cannot photosynthesize. This is autotrophic always, and this again is heterotrophic. So it's easy sequential. Auto hetero, auto hetero, hetero, auto hetero. Just sequential remember करो. Now if somebody asks you to write about bacteria, then you can give examples. इसका lactobacillus हो सकता है, माइकोबैक्टीरियम हो सकता है, स्ट्रेप्टोकोकस हो सकता है. रिमेंबर कोकस, आई एम राइटिंग बैसिलस. स्ट्रेप्टोकोकस अगर मैं कहूं, स्ट्रेप्टोकोकस, आई एम यूजिंग दीज वर्ड्स. एक्चुअली ये बैसिलस कोकस क्या सजेस्ट कर रहा है? द शेप ऑफ बैक्टीरिया. देयर आर 4 शेप्स ऑफ बैक्टीरिया and one is round which is coccus, second rod shape which is bacillus, third spiral shape spirilla, and fourth comma shape that is vibrio cholerae. So from the name of the bacteria you can show the shape also sometimes. तो ये बैक्टीरिया मोनेरन में आते हैं बिकॉज दे आर प्रोकैरियोटिक. प्रोटिस्टा का एग्जाम्पल यूग्लिना हो गया. अमीबा तो ये है ही. पैरामोशियम इसमें आ जाएगा. प्लाज्मोडियम comes in this group. All are examples of protista. Fungi you can write yeast. Yeast is a fungi. Scientific name Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Saccharomyces, a scientific name of fungi. Then plantae you can write any plant of your choice, rose plant or lotus plant, all come in the plantae kingdom. Animalia also, you can write the name of your pet as well. Any dog or any cat or anything which you like, human beings, anybody. They are examples of animals. Now, so somebody tells you to write a short note for 2 marks on bacteria. You can write bacteria are unicellular organisms which are prokaryotic. The mode of nutrition in these organisms may be autotrophic or heterotrophic sometimes. Prokaryotic जब लिखो तो ये भी explain कर दो. They do not have a very well defined nucleus. The nucleus is called nucleoid because it is the DNA is suspended in the cytoplasm without a nuclear membrane. तो वो भी आप कर सकते हो and you can write a short note easily. So this is the 5 kingdom classification which you should know. You should इस चैप्टर को पूरा एक टेबल के फॉर्म में ही बना लो. दैट वुड बी वेरी इजी फॉर यू टू रिमेंबर. इट्स वेरी इजी एंड वेरी नाइस चैप्टर व्हेन यू स्टडी इट with a particular pattern, otherwise it may seem difficult. Okay, so this is about the classification system. So in this lecture, hope you have written it down. Now in this lecture, I think because this chapter we are not in a very much hurry to study this and just complete our course. We are already done with our course. तो इस चैप्टर को आप slowly आराम से पढ़ते रहे. So I complete my lecture here. इसको याद कर लेना. ओलंपियाड्स में हेल्प हो सकती है इससे. So till we meet next time, I hope you have understood. Let's keep studying. Let's keep being motivated. And जब अपन next time मिलेंगे, I want to find you happy. Thank you so much for listening. Take care.